Good morning, my beautiful friends. Welcome back to the channel. This is Tanya at Sidegigcrafts, guys. So glad you're here today because we are going to be starting something new, a new journal. I have had this book sitting next to my bed for a while now, partially because I want to read it, but I want to make a journal out of it. It's Bunny Brown and his sister Sue at Christmas Tree Cove. Now, I don't know that this is necessarily a Christmas story because look at them. They look like they're on summer vacation. Christmas Tree Cove isn't necessarily Christmas. So I want to read this book, but I want the cover for a journal. So we're going to take this book apart today, and I'm going to salvage the innards of it, and we're going to turn it into a beautiful book. And I think I might turn this into a bookmark. I put this one in there because I was going to read it. I'm still going to read the book. I'm going to take the insides out and read it. And then I might be able to use some of the pages later on. But for now, I'm not planning. I don't have a plan for the inside yet. That's going to come to me. Just not yet. Now, I want to decide. I want to put some fabric on here. I want this to shout Christmas because I do want it to be Christmas tree, about Christmas. I want it to be a Christmas journal. It's green. It's beautiful. It's beat up. It's wonderful. It's just my style. And look at this. Isn't this gorgeous? I love this. I don't even think I need to fix it. I think I just need to leave it and just make it a grungy journal. That's the plan. So here's the question. I have these 3 fabrics picked out. Will this be my journal, my cover, my spine cover? This one's nice and soft. Or this one? This one goes really nicely too. I think I'm really debating between this one and this totally Christmassy one, flannel. I'm really debating between the two because I want it to shout Christmas, but it doesn't need to be over the top Christmas. Which one do we like best? Because it's got the greens and the reds. But this one is so pretty with the red and the white, and that's what they're wearing. And I feel like the picture is more I feel like with this one, your vision goes more towards the spine instead of the picture. And with this one, it really makes the picture pop. And I keep going back and forth. I don't know which. I think it's this way is the right way, I think. I think this one makes the image pop more. I think this is the one I should use. Do you guys agree? I hope you agree. I think we can brown it out a little bit to make it a little bit more blendy. I think that's the one. I really thought I was going to go with the flannel. Okay, well, let's do this. And we can use those other fabrics somewhere in there if we decide. But I think this is what we're going with. So the first step that we need to do is take this baby apart. Let's take it apart. I don't think it's going to be hard because it's already tearing. Yeah, I don't even think I need anything to cut it. Nope. Don't need anything to cut it. It's just coming apart. This book was published. Let's see. There's a date on here. It belonged to Jane. And I love that that's in there. Got glue on my fingernail. Let's see if there's a date. 1920. Bunny Brown and his sister Sue at Christmas Tree Cove. Let's see, they did the Bobbsey Twins series, 6 Little Bunkers series, the Make Believe series, the Outdoor Girls series, lots of them. Okay, so let's see if this one will be just as easy. Probably. I might want to just cut it. Let's see here. Oh, I have my box cutters in here. If you don't have a box cutter in your stash, in your supplies stash, you should get one. They are great to have on hand. I have a box of them for work, so I just end up with them all over my house, and I love them. Okay, and you can get them very inexpensively on Amazon. That's where I got these. And the blades come out and can be replaced, or this is what I scrape the glue off of my glass mat with. I just take the razor out carefully and scrape my glue off my glass mat. And it works great. Put it back, put it away. Safe as can be. Put it in the drawer for next time. And I always have one there. Okay, so there's my innards, so I can still read it. So I'm gonna put my bookmark in here. And then we've got the cover. So how are we going to turn this into a journal? Well, we're going to see. First of all, I am going to go ahead and cut these apart because I am going to make a bookmark out of this. We'll probably do that today too. Let's see. How do I want to do this? We'll just go right up the side here. Kind of just let it do its thing. Not even having to hardly cut. It's just tearing. The stitches are so fragile. I love that. Okay. We can leave some of the readiness on there. And we have ourselves the beginning of a very new journal. So there's our cover. Super easy to take it apart. Next, okay, we're going to set this aside too. Next, we're still going to need a firm spine for our journal. So I'm going to find, now a lot of times you can just use this piece on there, and I could even put this over the fabric. When I put the fabric on there, I could glue this back to the side, but we'll see how that looks. I do think I want the fabric to show. So I don't know that I want to do that, but I need to find a piece that's going to fit here. So let me go ahead and cut that piece and we'll get going. All right, so I found some chipboard. This is just the cardboard from the back of a packaging. And I made this one 2.5 inches. So this is going to be our spine. It's going to be it's going to be a thick journal. I really, really wanted it to be a thick one, like an unnecessarily large Christmas journal. Actually, that might be way too unnecessarily large. It's going to take a lot to fill that up. Let's go to 2 inches. Why am I chickening out? I don't know. Let's go to 2 inches. Ugh. Okay, that'll be, big enough. That'll still be quite large for that book. See, that's going to be the spacing of it. That's going to be quite a bit of room in there for lots of pages, lots of beautiful pages. Okay, so now I need, not this, this would be cute too, but it doesn't shout Christmas, so I opted not to use this. It's here on my desk for another project. So the question is, well, it's not a question. I need this one to cover this part, plus a little bit more to hang over the edge here. I'm going to, these are stitched all the way around, so I'm going to go ahead and cut the edge off. Just along that stitching, because I'd like it to fray. Now, I could use that stitching to keep it from fraying, but I like the frayed look. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to take that off. Okay, and then I'm going to need it at least 2 inches to cover this, plus a gap, plus a little bit more to overlap. So I'm thinking probably 1/4 of an inch. If I overlap it 1/4 of an inch here, and at least 1/4 of an inch on the other side, that's 1/2 inch, plus a little tiny gap. So let's say 2 3/4 inches is where I probably need it. So let's see if we can tear this. I'm not sure if we can. 2 3/4 is going to be right about there. And I don't care if I'm not perfect on my measurement there, but let's see if it'll rip. Oh, it may not. Oh, but it may. It may, but it's going to be harder than I can manage. So I'm not going to do that. And it's kind of puckering. So let's cut it instead. We'll start on this end because it'll be a little easier this way. I don't need the whole length anyway. I'll clean the rest of that up later. So it's going to be right about here. And I see a stitch I can follow. Ish. Let's see. And there's a staple I need to take out. Okay, let's drag that a little bit longer. This is a good way to measure to make sure that you're staying at least close to the mark. If you're not looking for perfection, this works well. It's not perfect, but it'll work. Okay, let's take the staple out. That's probably where they put the price tag on it. These were samples from the fabric store, I'm told. I was gifted these when I went to work at the Mercantile this weekend, so thank you, Kathy, for that. Some of these fabrics, she said she's found a place that gets rid of stuff just by the bag full. When I asked her where, she didn't really want to tell me, and I was like, yeah, it's okay, you keep your sources, just bring me the stuff you don't need. I don't need to know. I'll just end up with a whole lot. All right, way more than I could use anytime soon, so you don't have to tell me where. Okay, we'll use this one and make it a bookmark maybe in there, or a pocket. Make a cute pocket, something. We'll do something with that. It's not going to waste. Okay, so I'm going to glue this right in the middle here. And I'm loving the Fabri-Tac, you guys. I've never used it before recently, and I'm loving it. Do I want to use, which side do I want to use? Do I want it more red, or do I want it more, yeah, they're opposite. Do I want it more the white? I feel like I kind of want it more the white. Yeah, I think this is the front, or the top. I think this is the back. For me, anyway. I don't know if that's the way it's supposed to be. I don't care. All I care about is the way it's supposed to look on my book. We're going to use this. Make sure it's really good and glued down. I think with the way that this stuff works, and you know, everybody swears by it, but I had never used it before, and I really like my Barely Arts, and I still do. But this has some really great qualities to it, and I am really enjoying using it. So I think I will be keeping it in my craft room. It's kind of pricey, but I think it's probably worth it. Okay, especially as much as we use fabrics in our crafting. Okay, so this is going to go on this side. Now I do want to make sure that I don't want to go too far up on here and lose my title. So I just want to go up to the edge of that. So I will be cautious about that. I'm going to place it carefully. You want to leave a little bit of a gap in between those two pieces so it's not too stiff. You want to be able to close your book. Now I'm going to flip it over and make sure that that placement is right. That placement is good. I've still got my word there. So we'll just glue that, make sure it's pressed down well. Flip this back over. We're going to go ahead and glue this side as well. I'm not worried about this side covering up a little bit more because there's no words to cover up on this side. We just want to make sure it's attached and that there's plenty of space to fold our cover. Okay, so we need a little gap. I'm being careful to line up the top and the bottom and make sure that that gap is as straight as possible. I'll push that down and slide it just a little if necessary, and then make sure that it is nice and attached. And just like that, we have a book cover, guys. We have a book cover again. We have taken an old book that would have been tossed in the bin, most likely, and we have turned it into something, or we are turning it into something that will be appreciated for a long time, hopefully. I was given these sticks too. I was wondering if there was something district of fur. I don't know what that said. Ooh, that's kind of cool. was wondering if maybe something like this might be cute on the outside. But no, I don't think so. I mean, it would, but it's not really. Then again, that might be really cute. If I put a little brad or something in there, we're going to leave that as an option. I really like that idea. Now, I do need something on the inside of here, and sadly, I'm going to cover up Jane, which I'm sad about, but again, we need to make it so that it's something that somebody will want. I'm wondering... Oh, well, that took that out of my options. I was like, I don't know if I want to do that, but I do, but I don't. And I have some other fabrics here. Maybe we could use this one on the inside. What, should we do that? We could use this on the inside. That would be nice, and it's nice and soft. I could also use a Christmas paper, would be nice. What do you guys think? I need you to shout out the answers, because I wish I had a fabric kind of like his pants. That would be really cute. Like a green khaki kind of thing. I don't believe I have anything like that. I don't. I think we're going to go with this on the inside. Let's do it. Let's just do it. Let's commit. I think when we open the book, it would be a really nice surprise to see the bright plaid. So we're going to cut this. I'm going to tear it actually, but I think we're going to go right here in the middle of this plaid part right here. Hopefully it'll let me tear it. And of course not, because it's the wrong direction. Okay. So let's look at it. If it doesn't tear that way, it should tear this way. And that's going to be right about here. Is this one going to let me tear it? Oh, there we go. Okay. That way I don't cut too far and waste any of it. Okay, now this should fit the book if I did that correctly. And I think I used the wrong piece. I think it's this one. It's gonna fit more better. More better. Do you like my English? It's gonna fit more better. Okay, so there's that. Now I'm thinking that maybe I should sew around the edges of this one before I glue it down. I could have done that here too, but I felt like it would maybe take away. I still could, well, this book is pretty thick. I don't know if my sewing machine would handle it very well. But I could sew around this one. Should I or shouldn't I? Should we just glue it? Should we just glue it? Nah, I'm gonna sew it because I like that better. You can just glue it here, or you can sew around it and then put it and then glue it. But I think I'm gonna go ahead and sew. I like the extra detail. It just adds something nice to it, and it shows that you put in extra effort. So I'm gonna go ahead and sew it, and we'll glue it in after that. Well, how quick was that? Here we go. All sewn around. I used a little zigzag stitch. I think it adds a really finished touch to it. Now, I am noticing that this is slightly shorter than my book page. This part, I'm okay with it because it just adds a little bit more. We're gonna go ahead and glue this down here. Make sure that it's nice and attached all throughout, especially here in the seams. We want it to be attached. That's gonna help us keep our signatures together and keep everything laying down nice. Okay, we want this nice and attached in here. I need a bigger bottle of this next time, don't I? I wasn't sure how I'd like it, so I just got the little bottle. And everybody swears by it. I mean, I don't know why I didn't trust, but I didn't. I thought, well, everybody loves some of these other glues too, and I don't like them, so we're going to try a little bottle. And I love it. Okay. You should get some too. I'm not sponsored, obviously. Okay. Here we go. I don't have any sponsors. No sponsors here. So if I'm shouting out a product, it's because I really like it. I don't have any sponsors, guys. I don't make any money by putting links in my descriptions or anything like that. So you know, I'm speaking to you honestly. I've had lots of offers to do some different products. I'll pay you $10 to review our product. Da, 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 da. I know you don't need it, but I'll pay you $10. No, I'm not going to do that. If I don't want or need it, no. I'm not that person. Now, I'm seeing that I missed some glue in here. I'm going to go ahead and, oh, I can't pick it up. It's already stuck down. Oh, nope. Yes, I can. But what I do see, I'm glad I actually did that because the paper behind here is coming up. And that means it's not attached well. And that means that it can still come apart. Let me get some glue under here. Glad I found that out. Make sure that that is glued down nicely. I didn't put enough glue right here to keep that from bulging when I folded the book. So we're going to try that once again. We're just going to put this everywhere. Once again. I don't want it to do that when I close the book or open the book. No bulges, please. Just beauty. Nice and wonderful. Okay. Stretch that if we can. Love it. There we go. That's much better. Hopefully. Yes, much better. The bulge isn't there anymore. Okay, you want to watch right in here where it folds. If it's bulging right here, you need to get in there and glue it quick because it shouldn't do that. When you open a book, a well-made book, you're not going to see that. And that's what we want to avoid here. So if you get in the creases in here really good, and then you get right on the edge of that book right there, it'll be fine. Excuse me, I've got to drink some coffee a little bit. I'm trying to wake up. I have the day off today. I am sitting here in my jammies, and I'm going to craft all day. I have all kinds of things that I need to get done and that I want to get done. And so I have no obligations today except laundry, you know, stuff around the house. I do need to do some chores, but I'm going to be crafting all day. I've got a candle lit, and it's just a nice atmosphere in here today. All right. Now, one of the things I could do on here to make this look a little bit more finished is also use some trim, such as, I'm thinking maybe like a crocheted trim. Let's see if there's any in here that I could use. I have this ribbon too that I should probably take out and use this. Maybe this will be our closure. I think that would be great. We could use, I'd like to use that in there somewhere. In the book, not on the cover. Let's see if I've got something here. Something here. I mean, it's not red, but I've got, ooh, this would be pretty. Look at this one. Look at this trim. Can you see the braiding on there? That would be really pretty along the edge. I think that's what I'm looking for. It doesn't have to shout out Christmas too much, but if I put this on the edge, it'll kind of finish it off. See that? How pretty is that? Let's do it. I'll just cut 2 pieces of that. And then I'm going to keep this for, in case I want something else in the book to add that to. Because it would make it consistent throughout. That would be a great thing. See if I can get that. I guess I could have used hot glue, but this should work just fine. maybe, hopefully. The glue is a little bit sticky, so it kind of holds it in place while it dries, which is a nice feature. Don't have to worry as much about it coming up. And the really cool thing, you guys, about making journals, junk journals, is that there's no rules. No rules. As long as it works and it makes you happy, that's the rule. It needs to work for you. Everybody's definition of that might be different too, but it needs to make you happy, just what you like. And you'll see lots of different versions of journals out there. You'll see lots of different themes and the way that they do things. That's all good because it works for that person. And there's nothing wrong with it. They're all going to be so different. There's not going to be two the same probably ever. Even if I make, you know, I tell people if they like one of my journals, they need to grab it because there won't be another one. These are not mass produced. Once I use my materials up, I use my materials up. I don't have that again. You know, I can't make another one. I don't have the first one sitting next to me to show me how to do the second one. So there we go. I like that a lot. That's really cute. Don't you think so? Now, it is bright. I recognize that. I'm going to use what ink is on here, and I'm going to tone that down just a bit. Hopefully this will work. There might not be much ink on. There's not much ink on here. So that being said, I will put a little bit of ink on there. Let's use a little walnut stain. Just a little, and I don't want this to be heavy, so I'm gonna, there we go. I want to make sure it comes off, but not too dark. So we're just gonna kind of knock that white back just a bit. Make it look a little more aged, like the picture. Like around the edges, those can be a little darker. You guys might not be able to see it, but I can definitely see a difference here. I'm gonna show you in just a second. And then I think what I'm gonna do, I probably don't need to do this, but I think I'm gonna kind of go around this a little bit to add some of this color on it. Because this brown is different than the truly aged brown that's coming up. So I want it to be a similar color so it really looks like it was together when it caught like this. Okay, remember we're going for grunge a little bit, not too grungy. We want it to be nice, right? Not everybody loves grunge, but I want people to see the design. I want people to see the photo, the image, and I feel like it's gotten brighter by doing what we've done. Don't you agree? And then when you open it up, you've got happy red plaid. Okay, now we're going to be filling this with music paper. Hopefully, if I have some coffee dyed paper, that's going to go in here. I haven't looked yet. All the things. So I also want to let's put this as our tie, our closure. I think that would be beautiful because I'm using scraps today. So let's find the middle of this. This is the only one. It's the only piece of this left I have. And we're going to glue it right there. Come on, glue. Just going to do it that way, and then we're going to go straight. Oh, look, I've got lines on my flannel that works, that just, I can just follow the line. And then put some right there. Now, the signatures of my book, I don't want to be happy, bright Christmas colors. I want it to be a grungy, almost monotone look to it. Older pages, magazine pages, stuff like that. I don't want it to be too modern, if you know what I mean. So I need to go through my boxes of papers down here, my vintage papers, and see what we can use that are going to give me the look I want. So this inside part right here is a little more modern than I want the rest of the book to look, but I do like this. It's gonna work. I promise it's gonna work. It's gonna just be one shot of beautiful red in all the colors that we're used to. This is going to tie here. See how we're using just different things that kind of coordinate different ways. So I'm gonna go find some papers and we're gonna put some signatures together. Okay, my friends, I have pulled some papers and not sure which ones I'm gonna use. Some of them I already know. I'm gonna use these because these are musical stuff and they're already attached. I must have been using them for a different project, but there's several of these, so this would actually save me some pages. I don't have any coffee dyed papers, unfortunately, so I'm gonna have to be creative and use lots of different other things. I need to see how tall this is. This book is going to be 7.5 inches tall. So I'm going to start by cutting some of these things down to the size I'm going to need. And I'm going to kind of go through this with you because I thought maybe I wouldn't because, you know, maybe it's boring, but I don't think so. I think it might be interesting to see some of the things that I chose and kind of talk through why I chose them. And I think these are going to be too wide, but I'm going to leave them alone for now because I could potentially fold them and make pockets into some of them. So I don't want to make that decision just yet. Don't throw this away. This is still, these are hinged together and these could still be used for something. I took the tops off, the titles off because they're not Christmas and I didn't necessarily want the message of the song title in there. Now this one I pulled not because I wanted to use this as it is, but I thought it might be fun to use some of the decorative elements on here around the edges for some of my book pages. So this one I'm going to pull, but I'm going to set it aside because that would come later if I decide to use it. This one I think I'd like to use, however, it's brittle. I would have to hinge it for sure, and obviously it's too big. So I think what I'd like to do is go ahead and cut this one down. I'm okay with the tear in it. I'm gonna have to hinge it anyway, so there's gonna be some repairs that'll need to be done, but I'm gonna make it smaller so that I don't damage it further before I decide to use it. But I love the color on it. I love the paper. I love that it's got a lot of blank space on it so that it won't take it won't be too in your face in a book. And I think it would work nicely in this one. And it's blank. Oh no, it does have music on the other side. I was gonna say it's blank on the other side. No, it's not. It's, hold on to these, you guys. You cannot recreate this. This is delicate, fragile paper, and you can make beautiful tags and things with this attached to other papers. It's just gorgeous. It's perfectly patina. Don't throw that away. Use every bit of it. And I'm going to put that right over in my safe space over there. Now this one I want to use because look at the small songs on there. This side has all of this, but this side has this too. So I would like to use it. Actually, I think I'd like to just cut this one in half and use it that way because it's got a lot of writing space on it too. I think that's what we're going to do. We're going to cut this one, I say in half. We're going to cut it right between those two designs and use those as book pages. And that keeps the music on the other side too. I might have to cut those down a little bit. This one I'd like to use as is. We're going to end up folding it and probably I may cut this one in half just so that we could have two of them in the book and none of it will go to waste. A lot of these papers I've purchased from here or there or were gifted to me. This one, I love this bag. This is a bag, old-fashioned style bag, and we're going to use this in here. We'll probably fold it and do some things. I think it's going to be too tall, but we can definitely use that This one, I like the color on it and I like the design. I want to use this. It's also blank on the other side. We may have to do some trimming, probably, and possibly even some hinging because this is pretty brittle. And as you can see, it's not wanting to fold quite right and it's tearing. So we'll probably hinge that one. I'm going to use this ledger paper. It's blank on this side. It's written on this side. We're going to do the same thing to this one. We'll probably cut that one. We'll either fold this one or cut it down. I'll probably fold it. Let's just do it now. That should be short enough. And make bottom pockets out of it. I kind of like this part. So it'll fold this way. Okay. This one is fun. This is just some advertising, some old paper. And I pulled this magazine. I wanted to kind of look at this. I'm going to set this aside just for now because my whole stack is sliding. This one, we can hinge in somehow or use it or make a card or something out of it. So I'm going to put this one aside because this one's probably going to be more decorative. I don't think I want to fold it because then I lose my picture. So this one will be something else. Okay, so that's going to be more on the decorative side. Now we're going to come back to that cookbook. I've got these papers in here. These are kind of fun. These are ones that I handmade, but they're very, very thick. And I'm thinking maybe I'll just use these two smaller ones. They're a little bit thinner. Might be easier to handle in there. So we'll just fold those in half. And they may not work that way. I might have to reglue some of these things. It's got music paper in here and just different Christmassy stuff. I found these are flashcards, and since the story's about kids, I thought some of these might come in handy for tags and other things. So we'll hold those aside for inserts. I've got more music paper. Look at this beautiful paper. Oh my goodness. This book is from, let's see if there's a date on it. This book is from 40 cents a copy. Wow. 1948. It's in perfect condition except for the aged paper. It's just beautiful. So I'd like to hold on to that one, but I'd like to probably use some of the pages. I'm going to put this in there. Some of these papers I found and thought, let's just use them up. We're going to put this in there. This one we can use on a tag or something. It has Christmas. Or a belly band would be cute. So I'm going to set that one aside. Got this one. This could also be used. This is the paper that Jovi made for me. And it's just so thin and perfect. She did such a great job with her paper. Her handmade paper turned out way better than mine. I'm a little bit embarrassed about mine now. I'm going to go ahead and set this aside because it'd be perfect for a tag or something like that. We've got Christmas blessings. This one can be sewn into the signature. So I'm going to leave it as is and use it as a page. We may have to strengthen that one. I've got some cooking stuff too. I love the colors here. And who doesn't cook on Christmas or for Christmas and holidays, right? So I thought we could sew this into the signature like here, and then this would flip open, and then this would be flipping open on the other side. I thought maybe we could do that. Holiday helper recipes, more of the same kind of a thing. Or we can cut it and put a couple different things in there. I've got Corningware. Who doesn't love some Corningware? Do you guys have Corningware? We had Corningware growing up, and I loved it, but I wish we'd held on to it because it's hard to get now. Maybe we'll put that in there. I'm not sure. I thought we'd use this decoratively somehow in there, probably for a tag or something. So I'll put that aside. I've got some book page from children's book page. This is probably more decorative element. This one could go in there. No, because then I lose my page. I'm going to put these aside as decorative elements. This one, I think we could use as a flip or something. This is also going to be decorative, the bingo card, because we play games at Christmas. Is my camera sliding? I feel like I'm working off screen. Sorry about that. So we'll use this as decorative. Party Best Butter Cookie. Isn't she adorable? Oh my goodness. I want to at least use the cover of this. And I can just pull it off the staples because she is definitely a little picture of Christmas right there. Little Miss Christmas. She's adorable. And then let's see if we can use any other good visuals in here. That one, I think that's the only other picture really. So let's pull that one off. And I think we're going to have 3 signatures. So I think I'm going to pull, actually, I think I'm going to pull 2. Although that one looks like Valentine's. I don't think I want that one. Maple nut drops. Let's see what the middle one is. French lace cookies, accordion. Oh, that sounds so good. And sun-made raisins. Sun-made raisins is close to my heart because my family, I'm from a farming family, and all of our grapes, we grew Thompson seedless grapes. They all went to sun-made. So that is close to my heart. Yahtzee. I figured I'd take out a game piece because why not? Again, we play games at Christmas time and the holidays, right? So there's that. This one, we don't necessarily need the toast, but I really liked this page right here. The reason why is because I've got kind of a Christmas pattern here. There's some baking on there, and then we have blank page, and then on the side there's recipes. So I thought we could just fold it this way and use that in our book. Okay? And then maybe I don't know. We'll put that aside. This one, again, for decorative. I pulled this. Oh, this is greenery. I wonder if there's any pine in here. Any Christmassy stuff? No, it's more ferns and things. Okay, I'm going to put that aside because that wasn't supposed to be in that box. And I thought it might be some Christmas. Magic City Schools. I wanted to use this either as a bookmark or as a flip. So this will be more decorative. But being that this book is about kids at Christmas, I thought this would be fun to put in there. And it's got the red and everything. So I thought that would be fitting. Here's the Yahtzee game guide. Since we have the game piece, do we need the game guide? Maybe, maybe not. I don't know. I'll put it aside in the decorative spot. This one came out of a book. This was the cover, the book lining cover. I absolutely adore this. And I think I'd like to use it in this book. I think, though, we need to trim it. I'm going to trim this part off, the black part. That's just the binding tape that was in the other book to hold it down. And so we'll trim that off, and I'm going to fold this in half and finally use this piece. I absolutely adore this paper so much. I held on to it because I just loved it. I used part of it, but that's the part that was left. And then I've got this recipe book, this Betty Crocker Holiday Heritage. It's perfection for Christmas, and it needs to go in here. Okay? Okay. I don't hear anybody arguing, so that's good. Okay, I think, are these stapled? Let me see if it's stapled. I don't think they are. I think they're glued. How is this in here? Nope, there's no staples. So, can I take it apart without ruining it? I'm not sure. I may have to cut, oh. And we'll just go gently. This is an old pamphlet too. And they just had a little bit of glue down the center. So there's that one. And then I can just break this into 3, one for each signature. Oh, that one's torn. That's okay. You can do it this way too. That's fine. Ooh. And then that one is going to obviously need to be, this should be one piece, and it is. So there we go. So we've got those. I have these envelopes. Now these can be folded and put in there like this. If you do that, you want to definitely cut this piece right here. I'll show you right now. I want to cut this. If you want to use the original flap, and then you can trim those corners however you want to. That way when it's sewn with pieces in between, because it's going to be in a signature, you can still use that flap and open it up. You've got space in there. Okay, you can do it that way. Or you can glue that part shut and cut the top off. So you could potentially do it this way also. We'll just do it because I need to use these things. They're in my stash. They're taking up space and stuff. And look, I thought to put the pin in my glue and it's still not going to work for me. What the heck, man? There we go. It did too. I just needed to wake it up. All right, so we'll just glue that down. And then what we can do is we can trim the top off here. And we'll have, when we fold it, we'll have top pockets. And you could even put a little thumb notch in there so that they can recognize that it is a pocket. And I'll do that later. Or, what else can we do? We can glue that top shut. Lots of different ways you can do this. Glue that top shut. You can cut the ends, this end and this end, and fold it. And then when you put this in your signature, you're gonna have two pockets, one on this side and one on this side. There's 3 different ways. How about a fourth? Can I think of a fourth one? I probably could. We could cut this part off. You could cut straight, would be a great idea. And then when you fold it, you've got top loading also. You could do it that way so that you've got top loading here and top loading here. You've still got your envelope so it doesn't have the flap over. I was going to say I can clean that up later, but you know what? Once it's in the book, it's going to be really hard to clean up. So we'll just do it that way. And then you could save this if you wanted to, but it's got the glue on it, so I'm not going to. Okay, so we can use those. I'm going to use those up. That's the last of them. All right, I've got this beautiful paper of these little young ladies, and I figured I'm just going to go ahead and fold this and put this in there. It's going to be sideways, but that's okay because it's a junk journal. Got this little doily. Where did this come from? I thought it was white. That's why I pulled it, because I thought it was white. It's yellow. But we could use the white side. I found a handwritten letter in there. It's talking about pickles and canning, and I thought, why not? I've got this one in there. This one will be more decorative. Oh, and this will be decorative, and this will be decorative. So let's put those aside. I found a photo of a Christmas tree. Look at that. Look at that living room. Look at the doggy laying there. So that's going to go in there. That'll go in the decorative pile. I found an old-fashioned radio. Thought that would be fun with the music pages. Let's put that aside. I found some cards. This one is from your secret pal at Christmas. It's got a card on there. Guess who? We could sew, we could do this a couple different ways too. We could sew this in the signature like that. So it'll be, it'll have pages in between. We could even put something here that says something different. There's lots we could do with that. And I think that's what I want to do. I think I want to sew it in, or we could just tuck it in a pocket, but I think I want to sew that one in. And we have this one, congratulations and best wishes. I thought this would be really pretty. I didn't want to use it as a card. I wanted to use this as decorative because I love this. And even at Christmas, we could put something over this. And I love this. I didn't necessarily need this part. So I'm going to put this in the decorative side. This one, you guys, let's check him out. Isn't he adorable? Do you need the biggest? This one's going to go in the signature also. I'm going to darken it up so it kind of looks a little bit more like the rest of it, but he needs to be a page in our book. I found some poems. These are going to be stuck in there also. Just some random poetry. This one, we'll just tear this because it's going to tear anyway. And this is kind of how I go through it. I do still need some main pages though, I feel. These are going to be decorated. These are going to be stuck in there in pockets. This is going to be Polygraph Company. That's a one. I do have some book pages here. I'm not sure how I want to do these. Let's look and see if, I think this one would be cute. Oh, maybe not cut in half, but it'll be fine. This one's super cute. But I think this is going to be I think most of these are going to be decorative. I think I need one more that's not. Ooh, look, he's getting a gift, so that's perfect. He's playing with toys. He's playing with toys. We could do, this one would be cute this way. We'll get most of the image on one side of the paper, so that would work out just fine. And then let's use, those are cooking. Let's do this one too. There's 3. Okay, the rest of these I'm going to go ahead and put on the decorative side because we can use these in our book as pages to cover white spots and pockets and things like that. I've got a, what is this, 79th and 80th days brown leaves. This is just a book page. I think I'm going to use this. And then, let's see, we've got more music. I do want to use these. And I think that I'm going to cut this. I need more full-size pages. How big did I say that was? 7.5 inches? I think I did say that. So let's cut the bottom half off of these at 7.5 inches. Because I need more book page, full pages. Or we're not going to... We are going to use some scrapbook paper. And I'm just, again, I'm going to leave these plain because I could fold them either way, making pockets. And I don't want to throw this away, so we're going to use these in there too. And then this one I pulled because it's got this lady on here, Daffy Down Dilly. That's really cute. And it's whimsical and childlike. Oh, I love that. Georgie Porgy. Let's turn this. These aren't Christmas, but that's okay. Let's turn this into a full-size page. There's going to be a lot of music pages on here, and I am good with that. I love me some Christmas music. I love music. Anyway. Okay. Now, that's the old pages. Oh, I still have this thing, too. Holiday cookbook. Let's see if there's something specifically. I love that front page. Let's just use that. And let's see what's on the back page. Ooh, and Santa's on the back page. Okay, so we're going to just cut this. We're going to cut this. This is an old, this is from 1993. I say old, I was a mom by 1993. Okay, 7.5. Let's go right there. And then, how tall is this one? This one's going to be... it's going to be most of it. So I'm going to just put these aside here. I don't want to cut them up again because, again, I could be folding the ends in. And then we could use a lot of these things. Like, look, we've got an ad here for Christmas gifts. We've got different Christmas ads in here that would be fun to use. Shop at home for the holidays. First American Bank. So we could cut some of these and use, actually, I want this one. I do want this one as a page. I think that would be awesome. I'm going to go ahead and just cut this way. Did that one. I may be cutting too many. I don't know. We'll see. We can tear the rest of that. I can fix it with scissors. Which I could have just cut it with scissors, I suppose. And then we have that. Okay, and then I'm going to put this one aside because it's very modern. Well, it looks very modern. It's the 90s still, but okay. We'll use that as a page. Okay, now we've got all the vintage stuff. I have pulled my plaid papers because we do have the plaid on the inside of the book. I thought these would be fun to kind of toss in there. They are white on one side, and that's the stuff that we would decorate with the vintage ads and things. But we can definitely use those. And then I pulled some of my random Christmas papers from my stash, including some from some paper pads that are, you know, smaller. So these could be used like for bookmarks or decorating. So we're going to set those aside. I found a green and white bag, which can also be used for decorating. I've got some fa la 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 la, which we can definitely vintage up. I found some greetings, so those will be for decorating. And then I found some papers. This one I thought would go well. This one has got double-sided, so these make great tags and other embellishments. So I'm going to put those with that. I've got these two papers. These are my last two papers from the Tim Holtz. I want to use them, so we're going to go ahead and just use them. This side I'm not too, well, I don't really care. It's got the confectioner stuff on this side, confectionery, and then it's got the bricks on the other side. We can cover this. I'm not a big fan of that for Christmas in what I'm doing, so we can cover that if we want to. I love it, but that's not, it's not Christmas to me. And then I pulled some different scrapbook papers that I can use if I want to. So that's where we're at, guys. So I've got a whole, as you can see, I've got a whole combination of stuff. I'm not exactly sure where we're going, but that's how I pick my papers out, things that are going to kind of coordinate and give me the look that I want. Remember, we are working with this book, so I'm kind of going grungy, dark, vintagey. So even these papers are going to be grunged up a bit, especially even this one, because that is way off the mark for as far as how this goes, but I want to use it because I got a whole pad of this stuff. Just fa la 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 la. So I think it's going to be beautiful to go ahead and grunge this up to make it fit into this book. So that is all we're doing on this one today, because we have, oh, this has taken a bit. So by the time you see this book in the next video, I'm going to have these signatures put together. We'll go through those. I'll show you how to sew them in. So make sure that you like and subscribe and hype this video and share with your friends. So I hope you have a fantastic day. Thanks for joining me today. It's been a good one, and I look forward to seeing you next time. Take care. Bye-bye.